So, welcome to our Sunday Night Live show. She's Cheryl,
He's Ken.
and we're pretty sure about that. But we got the names wrong on the display. So, if you get confused, it's my fault. I did that by accident. Anyway, as always, we're looking forward to our show tonight. As normal, if you would do us a favor, let us know where you're watching from. Cheryl's going to run banners here. We'll get started with that one because we always like to know. We're in our home office this week. We'll be in our home office next week. Nope, we'll be somewhere else. In fact, there may not be a show next week. I got to look to see what time we sail because we're sailing next week, and we're going to talk more about that on Holland America. It'll be our first time on Holland America. We're looking forward to it. So again, start with tell us where you're watching from. And Cheryl put up a couple of comments. We got some already. Hi, Pam. I know where you're watching from. Nova Scotia. And Marvin said he's from Michigan. Don't you guys know it's cold up there? I saw a thing today that said that the dew point on Mount Washington, not the dew point, the wind chill on Mount Washington was 101 below zero. We had somebody else new in the list there, Cheryl. Oh. And so we have Shelly B with us, and she's in Maine. Everybody from the cold country. I had it was kind of interesting because I had a friend of ours came down and helped us lay floor in the house, and we gave him a little bit of grief about going back because he's in Wisconsin. And I sent him a picture the other day and asked him how the snow shoveling was. Told him we hadn't had to shovel any sunshine at all down here.
Yep, Marv, we feel like that's why we're going on Sunday. It's time for a cruise again. Oh, sorry, Pam. It's been freezing up there. Yeah, it's going to get really cold through the states this week too, I think, in the northern states.
Yeah. But so do me a favor again, if you can hear me, and whether you can hear me or not, just smash the like button like 10 times, everybody, because that'll get YouTube and Facebook's attention and helps share the channel a little bit. But now we'll talk about where we're going. Our next trip is we leave Sunday out of Fort Lauderdale, going to Bonaire and Curacao. And this trip we're looking forward to. It's our first time on Holland America. I guess they're probably one of the last major lines: Holland America, Cunard, Costa.
Yeah, there's a few we haven't
but there's not a lot that we've been. Well, we were on NCL recently because we were on the Prima.
Yeah.
So we're, you could say, looking forward to something new, something a little different. Everybody raves about the food on Holland America, so we'll give that a sample. Everybody knows I like to eat a little bit. My favorite hobby is grazing.
-3. Oh, I think I had the coldest day of my life was going to work in Minneapolis. And it was -17, and we waited about 30 minutes for the bus. But at the end of the day to get home, it started snowing. It was snowing really heavy, and it took me 3 hours to get home, and it was about -17 the whole day. And it was like a 45-minute wait for the bus, and I had so many clothes on.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I was tired of the heavy clothes.
There's a reason we live in Florida now. But anyway, so we're looking at Holland America. We're looking forward to this trip. Never been to Curacao, so we're looking forward to going to Curacao. One of the things that's pretty interesting about Curacao is we're going to get to tour the Sandals Resorts. And I don't know how many of you have ever done all-inclusives, but Sandals is kind of like the top of the line, and we have a day pass there. So while we're in Curacao, we're going to go over and shoot some video at their resort.
So if you've been to Sandals, you can tell us which one you've been to and what you thought.
Yeah, and as always, we want to know. Now, Cheryl's found some interesting stuff, so I'm gonna pop it up, and then I'll let her talk about it.
Okay, is it sharing? It's not sharing down at the bottom.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you shared.
Okay, so I thought that since we're this first time on Holland America, I wasn't really familiar with how to sign up for their shore excursions and everything, and so I was really there's good things about their webpage for signing up for excursions, and there's some limitations. The good thing I found is that they do have, like right here, you can see the Calypso Island tram is $30. And sometimes I found their durations are not what it says. because sometimes the durations are much longer. Like when it says to rent a beach chair, it's like a half an hour. And I'm not sure if the duration has anything to do with the trip all the time, or if it has to do with their backward, the way their computer works and booking and stuff. Because, the tours start at reasonable prices on at every stop, and they're very similar to what they have in other cruise ships. But I think that honestly, I think they're very well priced. And yeah, and here now Bonaire has some more longer cruises, longer excursions here for $70 and $80, and and then there's a trolley train for $50. And so, but the thing that's lacking on their page is whether it's accessible or not. You can't choose their excursions by accessibility. So that kind of really leaves me with having to read the reviews. And some of the reviews will say this was not accessible. Or one review for one of the boat trips, it said that the people were on the boat would help you if you could walk a little bit. They would help you to get on and off the boat, but it wasn't accessible. And the rest of them, it really doesn't say anything about. So when I get on the ship, I'm looking forward to talking to their excursion desk and mentioning they really, really need to get that on their webpage. But anyway, so that's some of the things we're looking at maybe doing. We haven't decided yet. If there's something that you know that's really good there, let us know, and we'll look into it.
Yeah. So again, like I said, something. Anytime you get several choices under $50, I think that's something that's pretty useful. Shelley, to answer your question, no, they're not just out of Florida. They go out of Fort Lauderdale, out of Miami. They go out of LA. They go out of Seattle. I'd have to look a little bit. Maybe Cheryl, you could let's stop the share. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I mean, well, and I'll let Cheryl look for an answer for you on that. But they go pretty much just about anywhere you want to go. I know they go out of San Diego. They go out of LA. They go up and down the West Coast. They sail globally. You could say they're probably in the line of ships. They're probably just below. What'd you do in Curacao, Marvin? I see you popped that up. I'll share that. But Holland America is a great choice. There's a rumor that they roll up everything at 9:00 at night, but I've heard from people that have been on recently that it's not that bad. It is a little older crowd, probably, like me. Cheryl and I are old people, so it should fit us. I don't know. Cheryl's checking on that for you right now.
I did. Okay. In Northern Europe, they go from Amsterdam and Rotterdam. In the Mediterranean, they have Barcelona, Rome, Venice, and they also go to Athens. And I don't see, doesn't list on this. I'll look up for the article for the U.S. But anyway, so they do go. They're I guess they're worldwide in a way, but not so much through the U.S. Yeah. And they also do some sailings in Alaska.
Yeah, they sail Alaska. I would think they do New England. So I would expect, Shelley, that they probably do sail out of either New York or New Jersey. But we'll find an answer for you here. Shell's going to work on that. So that is our next trip. We also have some other stuff on the books. We're going on MSC's Divina in March. We get to take our granddaughter on a cruise. We're looking forward to it. She's now 16. And Grandma and Grandpa are not as much fun as we used to be. She'd come and spend, 2 or 3 weeks at a time with us. Now, if we're going somewhere interesting, she'll come, but otherwise she's got a lot of things going on. You know how it is when they get to be 16-year-old young ladies, especially when they have their own car and driver's license and all of those kinds of things. But she's a sweetheart. We love her dearly. So we're going with her on the Divina. We've never been on the Divina. We're going in a front Aria suite, so we've never been in that category of cabin before, so we're looking forward to that. Then after that, we come back in April. We're going to Cruise 360, and so this is one of the things. And whether you're watching this live or listening on the replay, let us know any questions you might have, because we'll be able to talk to pretty much all of the cruise line. Yeah, we got some comments. Yeah. Okay. So we'll be with all the cruise lines. We'll be talking to a lot of the DMOs, the different organizations that market ports and stuff. So we'll have the opportunity to ask a lot of questions of different people. So if you've got anything that you'd like us to ask, we'd be glad to ask for you.
Oh, and then the only two sailings from New York for Holland America listed right now. Well, in April 2023, the Rotterdam is going. There's a transatlantics, the two transatlantics that are going over there. So that's it. Rotterdam. Well, the Rotterdam goes April 6th, April 20th. Yeah, it's the same. It's kind of confusing. They have it in here twice, but it's the same. That doesn't make sense.
Anyway, so they do at least transatlantics out of the ships that they're repositioning out of New York to Europe, and there's some great opportunities if you want to go to Europe. That's one of the things. Cheryl and I are not particularly fond of flying, and so a transatlantic is one of those things that are pretty cool. You can go to Europe pretty easily in the spring. So that gets you over there, and then Cunard runs back and forth pretty regularly. So if you wanted to do it and not have to fly, and the interesting thing is depending on the cruise and the time you buy it, sometimes it's not any more expensive than like 2 business class tickets would be. So you might think about that as a reasonable alternative.
You have to schedule it right. So it takes. We're still working on it for ourselves.
Yeah, we're just working on planning because part of it is I wasn't where we could go in April this year. So we come back. So that's April. Right now, May, we're working on Jamaica, but that's kind of up in the air. Oh, yeah, I'm behind on banners.
Catching up.
Cheryl's catching up here. But in June, we're going to do 3 all-inclusive resorts for one brand in in the Dominican Republic. So we'll be doing tours, and they're supposedly, they list themselves as accessible. So we're looking forward to going over and finding what they have in the way of accessibility. And one thing that I didn't know, and this is kind of interesting, because I guess we were talking to Christy Durso last week. I don't know if it was during the show or after, but zero barrier pools that you can go down in. She said, what you do is if they have a wheelchair you can borrow, you just take their wheelchair down into the water and get off and swim. I wouldn't take my wheelchair down there, but if they'll loan you a wheelchair you can take in a pool, life is good. Most of the beach wheelchairs don't do well in water. Just the one we tried in Jamaica has been
in Barbados.
In Barbados. Yeah, that's been the only one we liked in the water.
Yeah, the rest are only okay on the sand, and some of them aren't even great on the sand.
Yeah, but
it's a chance for the giveaway.
Yeah, let's see. Is that where we are?
No.
Oh, yeah. So what we'll do is we'll spin our prize wheel. I didn't see anybody watching extras this time, so we'll spin the prize wheel. We've giving away. What are we giving away, Cheryl? Find it and show it.
Okay. All right. This time we have another. It's not a backpack, but it's an insulated bag. It's from Norwegian Cruise Lines. It has a nice little zipper front. And it has, now the straps on the top are pretty nice. You can connect them together, Velcro them up here and hold them out of the way. It has a big strap. So as I was wondering how you'd put it on a wheelchair, and then, this will work good on the back of a wheelchair with this big strap here. So this is great. So anyway, not that you need it up north right now, but in the summer you might want it.
Okay, so I have a question for those of you that live up north. Well, I'll let anybody play. And we'll do a question. We haven't done a question yet today. Why do you take a cooler when you go ice fishing? See if anybody knows the answer to this question.
Okay. Well, you can do the giveaway while they think about that.
All right. We'll do the spin a wheel. I'll continue that session.
Oh, the spin a wheel is down here somewhere.
Yep. I'll put it up here. Okay. So let me share the screen. Present. Share the screen. Share the screen. Share the screen. Okay, so we're going to spin the wheel.
Oh, Pam again.
Pam, you just keep winning. But you only had her name on there once this time. So, okay. All right, so now I got another thing to ship to you. And packages and coupons are going out this week.
We sent some last week, but I told Ken he's got to give it to me. He's got to give me I don't know how to get your names out of the computer, so I haven't been able to do it. So I'm gonna get the names and addresses from Ken, and then I will take care of it. Oh, there! Somebody knew the answer to the question. Somebody knew the answer to the question.
I will say this, Shelley, you're close, but it's not to keep the beer cold.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's not quite right.
So somebody want to make another guess, or Shelley, you can make another guess really quick. Pam says that keep the ice from freezing together. Nope. I didn't say we're going to take any ice. Just taking a cooler.
There you go. Yeah, there we go. Marvin got it right. Let's see.
To keep your beer and food from freezing, primarily the beer. Because the only reason you go ice fishing is a good excuse to go outside and drink beer. But you got to keep the beer from freezing. And when it's 20 below, you need a cooler to do that.
Yeah.
So now you know something you didn't know. Who said we're not educational TV? Okay, so that was fun.
And then we have a comment here from Marvin. Oh, taking your Ford. Oh, Meraviglia in March. Oh, you'll like it. They will love the chocolate place. So expect to have to buy chocolate and gelato. It's great.
Okay, so and I'm sure you're flying down, Marvin. So my trick for Florida residents won't work for you, but okay. So let's do a share screen and let's show this one up here now.
Okay, yeah. And here's another thing that's coming up soon on another on one of our lives. We're going to have another guest, and maybe you've seen these before or not. You can let us know.
I don't know. Yeah, forgot what I was doing.
Okay.
Share the screen. Yeah, share that screen.
Let's share again.
Okay.
One more button.
Okay, so this is a walker. A walker. But
it's also like a wheelchair.
Well, yeah, you can ride in it like a wheelchair, but mostly it is designed to be a walker that helps you stand upright easily. Let's see.
I don't really know how it. Yeah, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's not too. Oh, it has handles on the back to be pushed.
So you can be pushed on it. So the individual that rented that, invented it, not rented. We're going to see that. Hopefully, the plan is next week that he should be with us. And
it's called Zeen, Zeen, and it's not. Zine.com isn't their webpage. It's gozine.com because evidently Zine.com had already been taken by another company. But anyway, I saw that in an ad and I thought we've got to talk to this guy. So anyway, and I really want to, I'm sure he has some more videos and he can answer questions. So I'm just.
Actually, I'll show you a little more about it.
I'm hoping that they'll be at, maybe the next Abilities Expo this fall here, and I can try it out and tell you what I think.
Okay, so you've got, like I said, it's designed to help you stand up. Okay, there we go. So that's that one. So it's got all kinds of cool things about it, but the big thing it does for you, trying not to, I don't want to play. He's going to play the video. So Garrett's is our probable guest next week. I got to double check, but
anyway, that's all right, Ken.
Okay. Anyway, one of the things that it's designed to do, and this is why it's important for Cheryl and I. Oh, I wasn't even. Did you just unshare it?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I didn't share some of that, but anyway.
Go back up to the zine, the zine on the first page or something. Here we go. Okay.
We'll talk some more about it. But the big thing it's designed to do is let you walk upright. And for those of you that walk with a walker normally, when you're not.
Go ahead. I'm just going to show stuff.
Okay, Cheryl's.
I'm just playing with the webpage.
Yeah, we'll let Cheryl play with the webpage. But the way it works is it allows you to walk upright and it still gives you the stability. Because, for example, Cheryl's biggest problem is balance. And, you think about it, for those of you that use walkers, what happens is if you're using a walker, you tend to hunch forward. And that's bad on your back. In fact, you see people that use walkers all the time. A lot of times what you see is people that are hunched over. And they might not have been hunched over if they weren't always relying on the walker. Marvin, okay, so if you're driving, I'll share something with you in just a minute. We're going to talk about this that might be helpful for you. So anyway, he's going to come on the show and we're going to talk about it, and he's going to share a video with us. The one thing I would appreciate, and again, if you're on the show live or if you're watching it on the replay, is let us know what you like, what kinds of content you like on the show, because this show is about you, not about us. And so if something like this is interesting to you, let us know. If you like the ship information, let us know. What kind of places would you like us to visit? All of these are things that we would love to know from you, so we can make this show as good as possible, because this show is for you. It's not for, like I said, for us. Yeah. Okay. So you put your walker behind you, and that's a great idea. And that's kind of what this does is you walk in it upright. But the nice thing is it's up high, and like I said, we were pretty impressed with it. Anyway, so let us know what's interesting to you. So now for Marvin, let's go to our next bullet point here. Okay, click that one first.
Okay.
So questions and suggestions, again, always, even if you watch it on the replay, put your questions and suggestions. For those of you that have done that, I always come back and answer them. Yours is in front of you, but it's high enough. For Cheryl, she puts hers in front of her, and then it's even if she puts,
I'm tall. I'm really tall. Even though I have long arms, it's just I'm like
we say raise her up as high as you can get it, but she still winds up leaning in front of her.
Yeah. I go through walkers like one a year, so I buy used ones. I don't always get the best fit, but I'm just really tough on.
Yes, she wears them out. If you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, if your button is red, please click it. That'll fix that problem. And again, if you haven't registered for the drawing, travelingwithachair.com, December-18-drawing, and get registered if you're not. We have lots of prizes, and when we go to Cruise 360, we'll come home with more prizes. Oh, I also want to ask. Okay, go ahead and pop the comment up. Yeah.
Is it tall?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I need a tall one.
Yeah. One of the things that I would love to know is if you guys would like to cruise with us, because we have a couple of things that we're booking farther out, and we'd love to have some of you guys go with us. One of the things that's kind of interesting, we just booked today, and it's for December, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Yes, I guess we booked it yesterday.
Yeah, December.
We're going on the Norwegian Viva, which is the brand new version of the Prima. It's the second in the class. She'll be over, and she's running a 4-day cruise out of South Florida, Miami.
I think it's Miami.
Yeah, we'll share the details in the group.
I don't have it on our calendar. I thought I put it on our calendar.
But and it's not cheap, but the 4 days is affordable for us because we can afford that. But it's it's a chance to be on a brand new ship. We like the Prima. We liked a lot of things about the Prima. They had the best rooms we've ever been on. I'll try to get some videos on that this week before we go. But
So on the Viva, I was looking. The Viva right now it's in Europe, right? And then it's coming.
Well, it's getting manufactured, then it'll go transatlantic.
Yeah, it's coming over here. It's going to have a transatlantic, but once it's here, it's only going to have this one 5-day cruise, and then it's going to be about $2,800 per, even for the less expensive rooms after that, for the 7 or 8 day that it's going to be doing in the Caribbean. So we thought, well, This is much, much less than that. It's a really good deal, and it's going to be a great ship. And so we're going to grab it while it's, so we can get on it while it's still new looking and pretty and everything, and give it a try before we go for the more expensive trip later on it.
Yeah. But and me, I like to be on new ships, so we're looking forward to that. One of the things that I'm working on, and I think is going to be a topic, I probably won't try to do it on our weekly show, but we're going to put together the ultimate sail and rail trip to Alaska. And I'm looking at, I've already got the Rocky Mountaineers. I've got a guest lined up from them. I'm probably going to look at get a guest on from Princess, because they offer some, maybe one of the best overall experiences in Alaska. They do things like they'll have you get up into Alaska, they'll bring the dogs on board, the puppies for the husky, puppies. So they'll bring them on board. Yeah. Pam says she hopes she can do. Well, I'm looking at doing that trip as a as a 2024 trip. So I have enough time to build up a group, because if we get a group together, and this would be one of those things, you can invite your friends. They don't have to, you don't have to need accessibility, because we'll do things that are accessible, but we're looking at trying to put together the very best. So I'm going to talk to all the ports and try to find the best shore excursions and the best terrain. And it'll be multiple price points on this project. Oh, no, not to Alaska in January. Sorry, Pam, we can't do January. But I'm going to start doing the show about this pretty quickly. Oh. Well, Shelley, if you don't have it set up, let me know, because I can help you with it. But so we're looking at probably starting the trip in Calgary, and then from Calgary going to Vancouver, and then sailing north out of Vancouver. And there's some reasons for it, and we'll talk more about it as I put on these, bring on the guests. But if you sail northbound, you get to go to Glacier Bay. We've sailed southbound 3 times. None of the southbound cruises go to Glacier Bay. So that's one of the things that we've missed. Princess does one of the things that nobody else, Princess, Holland America, and Carnival, I guess, are the 3 that do this, is they go into Whittier. And in Whittier, there are in that, I think it's College Fjord that Whittier's in. There are 26 glaciers in that valley. So as you're going into Whittier, you might as well be in Glacier Bay again. So that makes me laugh. But so we're looking at trying to do that. And, there's obviously once we get to Whittier, it'll be the train going north, trying to put together some experiences. But there's also train in Skagway that's amazing. So we're going to try to incorporate, for those of you that are rail fans like I am, we're going to talk about some of the great trail things that you get to do, or train things that you'll get to do. But we're also going to try to find the very best excursions in each port. Cheryl and I found this one in Ketchikan that we loved to death. And if for any of you that haven't done it, is the Aleutian Ballad, which used to be on the Deadliest Catch, but it's called the Bering Sea Crab Fisherman's Tour. And you go out and you get up close and personal with all kinds of eagles. I've seen more eagles, and we used to live in Wisconsin along near the Mississippi, and there were a lot of eagles there, but these were up close and personal and wild, and that was amazing. So we'll talk about that. We will also bring from Juneau and from Skagway. Probably I'll get the Alaskan Railroad on it, but try to or not, actually that's the White Pass Railway there, but try to bring on some guests that would be, able to talk about it and answer your questions.
Oh, okay. I found the information on the Norwegian Viva. When it comes, it's going to be, I'm actually sailing out of San Juan, Puerto Rico, and it's going to have 8 ports of call. That the list price on those cruises is $5,600, but right now it's half price for $28. But if you want to go with us on the 4-day cruise, on the Viva from the Bahamas. It goes to Great Stirrup Cay and Key West from Miami, and that's $549 per person right now. So it's a great chance to get it, and it includes right now. The sale is supposed to end pretty soon, but a lot of like tomorrow. But a lot of times they renew them. But they have their free at sea, free unlimited bar, free specialty dining, free excursion, free Wi-Fi,
Free air.
Yeah, this. I'm not sure on this one. It doesn't say for that shorter cruise, and then it has the second cruise is free, so that's why it's $549 per person. But anyway, so that's what we booked. We saw that last night. And we thought we gotta try that new ship for that.
Yeah. Okay. So I wanted to talk about for Marvin, one of the things that I found, and you'll want to double check this, but in Miami, the parking at the port, if you have a modified vehicle for mobility issues, so if you have a lift for your scooter, for example, or if you have modified steering, and you need to look at the Port of Miami disabled parking, but it's free for if you meet the requirements. So we're looking at testing that out both this week in Fort Lauderdale, because the same thing applies in Fort Lauderdale, and we got a lift for Cheryl's scooters on the back of it, so we'll take that and leave the lift on, and that makes it specially modified. And by what their policy says, we should get free parking. So we'll let everybody know in the next one. But that's one of the things to think about. For anybody that's coming from very far away that wants to go on the Viva with us, like I said, that's in December of next year. There are some things that we could suggest for add-ons to make it worth your while. There is some great things to do in the north end of the Keys. Theater of the Seas is amazing. You can do a paint with a dolphin. You can paint with a parrot. You can paint with a sea lion. Cheryl did that. There are so many fun things to do in that area. So again, I would encourage, if you want to come and go with us. The other thing that we're looking at probably for the spring of 2024 is out of San Diego, round trip to Hawaii. That probably will be on Holland America. We'll know more. I've got a couple of things I've got to get some dates on for my other business. Want to actually make money on. But we're looking at trying to do some things and do it with invite the audience to go with. I think it'd be fun to sail with you guys. And you could laugh at Cheryl as she makes fun of me. And
it is a long trip to make just for a 4-day cruise, but then you could do a back-to-back right there, I'm sure, pick up another 3-day or another week and make a nice trip out of it without much effort at all, because we've done that before in Miami. Just get off one, walk down the pier, get on another one.
Yeah, we've done that a lot. We got off of Celebrity and got on Virgin. We got off of Virgin and got on Celebrity. Got off of Virgin, or got off. Yeah, I guess we got off of Virgin, got on another Virgin, then got on a Celebrity. So, it's the Port of Miami makes it very easy. Port of Fort Lauderdale, there's some other choices. That's real easy because it's only about an hour drive, I think. Port Canaveral is a little farther, but you could do that as well.
We did Port Canaveral one time, but you have to boogie. You got to get
out you got to get off early and Cheryl and I, and this is one of the things, and I encourage everybody, and we've talked about this before, but if you're traveling any great distance, get in the day before so you can get on early. There's nothing like being in the first group of people on, and you go up to the buffet and it hasn't been pawed over and there's lots of space. And if you get on late, you can't get into the buffet, and everything's everywhere. So there's just so many reasons to do it. But again, those things, and I'll start posting a list of what we're doing and what kind of pricing we can get. Again, if we get over 8 cabins, 16 people, then we start to get some perks. Obviously the bigger the group, the more perks we get. So.
We could have a little champagne party, or we could.
Yeah, we could do something fun on board. Yeah. And when I do groups, I am fine with people being with me. I'm also fine with people not being with me.
If you just want the perks of the group with the discount or whatever, or the freebie that you get for it, that's fine too. We're fine on our own, and we're fine with people.
Yeah. Pam said she loves getting on first. Yeah. Yeah. No question. The buffet is a lot easier.
And then sometimes if you get on it really early, like at 11, and spend like a half an hour looking at some of the restaurants, I forget which one it was. Some of the cruise ships occasionally have 1 or 2 restaurants open besides the buffet, but they don't tell you. Yeah, they don't tell you. You have to know this. You have to know to look for it. And then you can make a nice quiet meal in the restaurant for lunch.
While everybody's fighting over the buffet.
Yeah.
You know, and that's our favorite thing to try to do. You know, is to get on and get there early and try to just get everything squared away and easy and rest and get your stuff in the room, and then you got all afternoon before the sail away to get ready.
The other thing I want to talk about next week, we have to remember is, or next time, is I was just thinking on the Holland America, the extra, the dining, the specialty dining is quite affordable. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with that on the ship.
Yeah. So anyway, we have, like I said, we got a lot of things coming up. We'll let you know. Like I said, next week, hopefully, like I said, the plan is we'll have the Xena on board, and we'll talk about that and get some ideas and see how that'll work. We will also be looking at. We'll talk a little bit at least about our Holland America cruise, and by then I probably should know about Jamaica. Like I said, we're looking. May is kind of off season there, because I'm trying to do a little less cruising during the time when I'm teaching class. So, because it's hard for me to teach on the road.
Well, thanks, Pam. We enjoyed having you all the time.
Yep. And so we're going to say goodbye to everybody. Thanks for watching. Again, if you watch this on the replay, please answer the questions. You have any suggestions, ideas, what we can do to make it better, let us know, because we can't read your mind. You know, I can't even read Cheryl's mind, and she's right here. And so at distance, it becomes 40
years of marriage, you still can't read my mind.
Most of the time, I can't even communicate. You know, so
no, we're fine. We're fine. Anyway, we will see you either next week or the week after, depending on what time the ship leaves. Good night. Okay.